Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Marcos Villegas. It is May 11th, 2020. Another edition of the Fight Up TV live chat. I'm coming at you live from sunny Southern California. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and tell the Instagram audience that we are live now. If you guys haven't joined us on social media, go ahead and follow us at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram, and as well for me at Hey It's Marcos V on Instagram and Twitter. One Boxing King, what up, man? Thank you for joining us. Want to talk a variety of topics with you guys today. We had a UFC fight that happened over the weekend. Great fights. I know some of you guys aren't into MMA. Some of you guys are. Mike Tyson in the clips that he just came out with today just looks in phenomenal shape for being 53 years old. I would not want to do an exhibition fight. Whoever does an exhibition fight with Mike, I pray for their soul because they're going to get decapitated. That is the best he's looked in forever. I was looking at an exhibition fight that he had at age 40 that happened 13 years ago. It was some like random arena that it happened. And he looks slow and lethargic. And looking at these new clips, Mike looks re-energized. He looks great. So we'll see if this exhibition happens, because honestly, that'd be the scariest thing to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition, because knowing the guy and knowing his psychology, okay? Mike Tyson has one freaking speed, dude. Like, the moment he gets hit, it's all red. It's all kill with him. So it's like, I don't think he can distinguish the difference between exhibition and I'm going to rip your freaking head off because you just hit me. We saw something similar with Floyd Mayweather and Tension. It's supposed to be an exhibition. And if you really analyze that footage, Tension came into the fight thinking it was a real fight. And when he tried to hit Floyd, he legit tried to hurt Floyd. And if you were following the buildup to that fight, sorry, I'm eating a little snack right here. Might be a little loud. If you're following up the buildup to that fight, and you were seeing the videos that were coming out of his camp, coming out from Risen, that they translated in English, he legit wanted to knock out or put some hurt on Floyd. Floyd came into that exhibition thinking it was an exhibition. He was dicking around. And then he got tagged by one player. That's so bad. I feel so bad for Tension because Tension's a monster. But he got tagged by one punch, man, and like it flipped like that with Floyd. Floyd went out and took him out. First Pallone, last Pallone. Shout out from Omaha, Nebraska. What up, man? How are you guys over there in Omaha? Hope you guys are being safe. I hope it's summer right now for you guys. It's not too cold, and you guys are staying safe out there. Lennox Lewis, so good. Oh, great. So, excuse me, man. I shouldn't be eating right now, but I'm hungry. Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson. I know Lennox had a tweet the other day. I work with Lennox on Fox. He still works out occasionally. He takes care of himself, his physique. And I've asked him before too. I'm like, hey, would you fight again? And Lennox has told me time and time again. First, he'll be like, he'll think about it, but it always comes to Lennox telling or saying to me, and I ask him like when we have our fighter meetings for Fox and everything like that. It'll just come out. It always comes down to, well, if they offer me $50 million, I'll come out of retirement and I'll do it. So him saying that, if the right offers put out there for him, he'll come out. Now, I know Evander had said something online too about wanting to do an exhibition with Mike where the proceeds go to those in need and charity. That'd be great, man. That would be awesome. John Tam, what up, man? How you guys doing in Houston? I hope you guys are doing well. How is it over there? I haven't really heard much from what's going on in Houston, is it pretty like normal life over there in Houston? Let me know. All right, 15 million. I don't know, man. Lennox has a lot of money, so, and he's made a lot of money too. I wouldn't be. I don't know. At the end of the day, 15 million is 15 million. So, and what we've seen time and time again is prize fighters, not just prize fighters, any athlete, anybody likes money. We like money. So if you present him 15 million to go do a sparring with Mike in Japan, you know, I'm sure he wouldn't be opposed. It's like if Eddie Hearn were to offer me even 100,000, not even a quarter, 250,000 to go and fight one of the YouTubers. I'd take it, even though I've trashed them for taking these fights, for doing these YouTube fights. I'd take the damn money. It's $250,000. Why am I going to say no to that? That's money to be made. So, you know, I'm not eating one of these Lenny and Larry's protein bars. They lie to you though. They're not protein. They're cookies that are protein infused. So, Chris Smith asked a very good question. Now that UFC's back, when are we going to get some boxing? Well, I got some news for you guys. So, it's not an edible, bro. I don't fuck with edibles, dude. Edibles, I'm scared what an edible will do. Make me see fucking pink dragons and fucking yellow elephants. No, I'm not down with that shit. Especially now, being locked down and shit. My friends tell me, when you trip out on shit, you want to be in a good mental place, in a good environment, around good people, and you want to be really, really grounded. I ain't grounded right now. Fuck. I have a good day, then I have a bad day. I feel fucking great, and the next day I feel fucking depressed. Hell no, I ain't tripping on no fucking edibles. Oh, hell no. All right, back to boxing when it comes back. I'm hearing July 4th, we might get some fights on the Golden Boy side, and maybe on the Fox side. Maybe. So I'm hearing Ryan Garcia might fight that 4th of July weekend. I'm hearing Top Rank. I spoke to Gabe Flores. He's training already. He told me he has a fight scheduled. They've told him in Nevada for end of June. So I think we are going to get fights at the end of June as well. I'll post that up, that interview that I had with Gabe Flores in a little bit. So boxing coming back, man, but, you know, it's not going to be big cards. It's probably going to be like 4 fight cards that are going to happen consecutively very often. It's going to be a lot different, guys. It's going to be a lot different. And I don't think they still have even figured out the protocols for how boxing is going to come back, you know? Zorba, hey, you. Damn good cooking. I'm feeling great, guys. You know what? There's some bullshit that's happening to us. It sucks. But you know what? There's still a lot to be grateful for life, you know? You're alive, you're breathing, you have life, you have your families. Be grateful for that, you know? I'm really happy. I got to see my mom yesterday, my little sister. It's really, really nice to see them. You know, like, a day alive is better than a day underground, you know? We got to think like that, you know? It sucks we can't live our normal lives like we used to. And I don't think we're going to be able to live our normal life like we used to for a very, very long time. Like 2-3 years, man. It sucks. Like, sucks freaking donkey nuts, you know? But, and this has always been me, my attitude, my personal belief is I value life so much, you know? I'll take living over being 6 feet underground any day, man. Even though it's this. We got to adapt, you guys. This is what we got to do. We got to adapt. Those people that succeed in life succeed because they're able to adapt. And that's what we got to do, man. We got to adapt. Feed Habib, I know I got to get a haircut, bro, but the barbers aren't open over here, man. So it's growing out, man. It looks like a tangled mess. Dude, I look freaking washed. Oh, my God. Yeah, I got a shave right here, too. Art Alexander, thank you for introducing me to Valerie Loretta on your feed. She's yeah. Imagine if Valerie had an OnlyFans. Oh my god. You know that meme, that Dana White meme? That's us every single day. Dude, her Instagram, Jesus. That's woo. Her Instagram is what up, Connor? Connor Lesnick. Hi, how's it going? Abdul Kadir Sheik. Just shave it off. I don't want to shave it, bro. I look weird with a bald head. I have like a deformed fucking head too, you know? Like it's weird. It's not like a complete circle. It's like a circle and then it does this weird little thing in the back. I look really, really weird bald, especially now that I'm getting older and I get wrinkles and stuff. I think it would look really, really bad. Feed Habib. MMA got all the bad women. Boxing chicks are busted. That's not true, bro. So I'm gonna give you a tip. I'm gonna give all you guys tuning in a tip. Which boxing baddies to follow? All right, you guys ready? So here we go. I'm gonna show you the boxing baddies to follow. I'm gonna pull it up right here on Instagram. You guys are gonna thank me. There's a few of them. All right, watch. First one, you guys ready? Get your phones out. First boxing baddie to follow is this girl right here. Michaela Mayer. Michaela Mayer. Follow her. She's hot. Super hot. First one, Michaela Mayer. Second one, where is she? A baby. Second one, okay? Look, get your phones out, guys. This is another boxing baddie that you want to follow, all right? Michaela Mayer. Look it up, bro. It's not hard to look it up. It's not a hard name to remember. Michaela Mayer is number one, okay? Second boxing baddie. There's this blonde chick from Australia. Smoking hot. Smoking hot. Her name's Ebony Bridges. I don't know if you can see right here, but she's another boxing baddie. She's a for sure follow. So go ahead and follow her. EBANIE_Bridges. She's hot. Very, very hot. All right. Second, so that's two already. I'm gonna give you another one. Let's see here. Where'd she go? Off the top of my head. Who else is? Oh yeah. I've got to get the names right for you guys. All right. So let me just check the correct spelling. That's what I'm looking for you guys. So there is, where does she go? Okay. She's an MMA fighter. Never mind. I was gonna give you another one. This girl's super hot. Loba Acosta. Follow her as well. See, I'm giving you guys all the tips. All the tips. MMA fighter, but she is hot. Shannon Courtney, she's very, very attractive. Very, very pretty. Heather Hardy. Go follow her. Heather, she got it going on, man. She got it going on. But you know who's my all-time favorite still? Pearl Gonzalez. Oh, my God. Pearl Gonzalez. I wish she had like a little sister that was my age. For real. Pearl Gonzalez is freaking hot. Feed Habib, you're a funny guy. All right, you guys. I've spent 14 minutes just rambling. Well, not really. We talked about Mike Tyson. And then what girls to follow. BG London's a fan of Cyborg. Don't lie, bro. You love Cyborg. I like Cyborg. We love this. You guys want more chicks to follow? More boxing girls? Let me see. Let me pull it up. You know, because sometimes when I'm bored, I'm not going to lie, you guys, I do a little creeping, you know? You got to do a little bit of creeping during quarantine right now, you know? You got to creep a little bit. So, all right. I'm going to give you guys one more to creep on. You'll thank me. Just let me find them. Let me see which is a good one to give you guys. You guys want a ring girl or you guys want a active fighter? Let me know. Let's see here. Let's give you. There's tons. Michelle Watterson, super hot. Michelle Watterson, super hot. Gina Carano, follow Gina Carano. Gina Carano, oh my God, pound for pound, probably the hottest MMA fighter that there's ever been. Do I know that one Tecate girl? Yes, Janira. I know her. Janira's cool. Very, very goofy. Let's see. Dang, man, a lot of these girls are MMA fighters. You guys are right, but there's really, really pretty girls that box also as well. There's a lot of them. Thing is, they haven't made a name for themselves yet. Oh, you know who's smoking hot, guys? Christina Hammer. Follow Christina Hammer, dude. Christina Hammer. I'm gonna tell you a little story about Christina Hammer. It's a good story. It's not nothing bad or anything. Christina Hammer is freaking hot. So I'm at the WBC convention. Okay, this is how hot she is in person. Okay, what you see on her pictures does not do her justice in real life. I'm at the WBC convention. I want to say 2 years ago in Florida. Nah, BG London, listen to me, bro. You see Christina Hammer in person? I'm at this WBC convention in Hollywood, Florida. Okay, I'm doing interviews in the lobby. Just got finished interviewing Amir Khan. I turn around and I do a double take, and I'm like, holy shit. Who is that chick? Oh my God, she looks like a supermodel. I didn't know who this was at first. She was wearing all black leather, okay? And she was with this old guy that had like this weird scarf, and he had long hair. It looked really, really weird, very like eccentric, you know? And I am talking with a group of people, and I'm like, hey, I say this to somebody from the WBC. I'm like, hey, who's that chick over there? She's freaking smoking hot. She like a fitness model or something? And they were like, oh, that's our middleweight champion. That's Christina Hammer. She's from Germany. And I was like, oh my God, that girl's a fighter? It's like, yeah. I'm like, holy shit. Like, she looks like a supermodel. She does not. You see her in real life and you're just like, oh my God, you are really, really pretty. So big ups to Christina Hammer. She got it going on, definitely. So, all right, you guys, now back to the main thing. Is I drink my little bit of special. Can you see what I got in here? Special juice in here. Maybe that's why I'm talking so much. Oh, yo, Shang Tsung, your soul is mine. You ready for Mortal Kombat or what? You see Mortal Kombat Aftermath? Shit look fucking legit. Robocop? Why are they bringing Robocop into Mortal Kombat? That's so weird, dude. What is Robocop gonna do? Give you a freaking ticket in the game? He has like no weapons. All he has is that stupid handgun that comes out of his leg. Oh man, some of the choices that they make for these video games. All right. I watched your interview with Angel Garcia recently for the first time. You're definitely a pro at what you do, sir. Shang Tsung, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I choose you for Mortal Kombat. All right. Marvelous Decho's in. Nassim Hamed versus Eric Morales, 1998. Well, seeing how bad it turned out for Hamed against Barrera, you got to think Morales was just on the same level as Barrera, given their fights as well. I think Morales was a little bit quicker, I think. Even though Barrera might have been a little bit more technical than Morales. It's so hard, man, because like Hamed. See, here's the thing. Nassim Hamed has said in many interviews that he was off that night. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened, that he underestimated Barrera. and I could believe this because I've heard it from my journalist colleagues covering soccer games. He said during his walkout, a Mexican fan filled up a bag with piss and threw it on him, and that fucked with his head. And whenever this is actually true, So the Mexican national team plays in Azteca Stadium in the capital of Mexico, DF in Mexico City. Okay, and it's this um, fabled arena that's high up, high elevation, and the Mexican national team has a very good record over there. You know, they're very hard to beat. They're in Azteca because of so many people that go there and how rowdy the crowd gets. There's been accounts by players from different national teams, even players from the United States that have said when they've gone to play in Azteca Stadium that they get pennies and nickels and batteries thrown at them, and they get piss thrown at them, either in water bottles or in bags. So I could totally see how a fan would throw piss on Naseem Hamed during the walkout and everything like that. But you know, it's so, you got to imagine, okay, what would happen if Hamed would have came in 100? Would the same thing would have happened, or would have been a different story? Ultimately, what it showed is Hamed always had horrible boxing fundamentals. He did everything wrong. So when he finally came up against a guy on an off night or on an on night, he came up with a guy that was extremely technical, had everything textbook. He couldn't get away with the stuff that he got away when he met guys that were as elite as him. Okay, so we've seen that time and time again. You get to a certain point that your natural abilities can take you as a fighter. And when you get to the elite of the elite, that one thing that brought you to the dance, you have to be multifaceted. You have to have other stuff in the tool bag. You can't just rely on one thing, because those elite fighters will take away that one thing that brought you to the dance, because that's what got them there to the elite status anyways. A good example, you can make an argument, is Deontay Wilder with Tyson Fury. You know, Fury took away his power. You know, Roy Jones relied on his naturally gifted abilities until Father Time took those away from him. And then when he fought Tarver, when he did, look what happened, you know? So that one thing can take you to the top, but as an elite fighter, you have to have other tools in the bag. That's why when elite fighters fight elite fighters, you rarely get a knockout. Why do we not see knockouts when elite fighters fight elite fighters? It's very rare. The reason is they're elite. They're good. They're really damn good. And because they're really damn good, they don't get touched a lot or they don't get knocked out a lot. They're there for a reason. And when you face a guy that's at your same skill level, that's done legit stuff, has the goods, has the amateur goods, has the pedigree, has done the work the same as you, you're not going to get away with that one-off shit. They're going to take it to deep waters and they're going to challenge you. And that's why when elite fighters face elite fighters, we very rarely get knockouts. Brandon House, what's up, man? What are you doing? Art Alexander. Speaking of Roy, did you see him with Eubank Jr.? Why did he look better than Eubank Jr.? You know what I saw? I saw Roy in sandals wearing socks, which cracks me up because I interviewed Roy Jones one time at the Nokia Theater in LA, and I think he was training Jesse Vargas. I don't know for what fight. I think Jesse Vargas was his trainer, okay? And geez, look at this, man. My hair's a mess. And Roy showed up to the press conference in a yellow polo, a yellow striped polo, shorts that went down to his ankles, socks, and sandals. And he did the interview dressed like that. And I was like, this is how I would dress if I was doing interviews. I'm like, Roy, do Roy, man. That was awesome, you know. But yeah, Box Report TV, yo, what up? What's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. So back to Roy Jones Jr. And I'll get to that Charlo question, Brandon. Back to Roy Jones Jr. training Eubank. I think it's okay. Honestly, okay. The Fubu era, I know, right? There's a lot of ways to look at it. Okay, one way is how much success has Roy had as a trainer. You know, who has he trained? Off the top of my head, Jesse Vargas, that a Bali guy, Eubank Jr. now. Who else has Roy trained? You know, and how well has he done? Have those fighters kept him as a trainer? I don't think. Obviously, Vargas is not with Roy anymore. I don't think Bali is with Roy anymore. So it's hard to gauge Roy's track record as a trainer. Now, obviously, this is not saying that he's a bad trainer. It's just it's hard to gauge his resume right now because he's building it as a trainer. You got to start somewhere as a trainer, okay? But the knowledge that he has is unbelievable. This guy has unbelievable knowledge of the sport and unbelievable understanding because he really is a student of the sport. And not only as a fighter, but also when he started transitioning into his analyst role. So not only does he have the knowledge of actually fighting through fights and drawing from that knowledge bank, but he also has the luxury of drawing from his bank of knowledge as an analyst, seeing all the fights that he called with Max and Emmanuel and Jim on HBO. A lot of fights that he's seen, a lot of styles that he's been exposed to, both as a fighter and as an analyst. So he has a lot of knowledge to share. I think it's good for Eubank Jr. because he's never really had a real trainer up until recently. He's mentioned to me in interviews that he's trained himself with his dad. And, there's stories that have come out that said that he never really listened to his dad, that his dad had a hard time telling him what to do because Junior sometimes wouldn't listen to the instructions in the corner. So I think this could probably be a good thing for Eubank Jr. It remains to be seen. The only way we know for sure is when he actually gets a fight to see what happens there, to really gauge the work and the improvements that Eubank Jr. has had with him. Eubank Jr. had Senior's old trainer, but Junior's so arrogant he never listened. I've read that. He had Nate Vasquez as well, but that didn't really last too long. And you've always heard that Eubank Jr. was the one that trained himself for fights. Maybe someone like Roy, who has such a legendary position, would be the one to tell him. But honestly, it's the weirdest thing because the same thing with Chavez Jr. You have the greatest bank of knowledge for boxing right there in front of you in your father. Why would you not hone in on that? Your dad is better than any of these trainers, dude. Like the wealth of experience that he has eclipses like 90% of the trainers out there because his dad's a legit Hall of Famer. Same with Chavez Jr. You got the best trainer in the world right there for you and your dad. But, sons and fathers, it's hard, That's like a lot of times when your parents nag you and they tell you what to do and you kind of just ignore them and you're like, whatever, you kind of just like hone them out. It could be the same thing with the father-son combination in trainers where it gets to a point where they're just kind of like, whatever, dad, like, shut up. I'm going to do my own thing. And they need another voice in the corner to go ahead and tell them what to do or instruct them what to do in the fight. Iceman, big shoes to fill, bro. Yeah, they are big shoes to fill, man. But, they also have a head start given their names as well. They've been successful because they put in the hard work, obviously. Junior's a good fighter when he's dedicated. He won a world title, legitly, when he was with Freddie, okay? There's no negating that when Junior has hunger and desire and puts in the work, he's a decent fighter. He was world class. He won a world title. He went on a very good run with Freddie. The kid can fight. Thing is, he's not dedicated. Given the last name, you have a lot of opportunities that open up for you. You get an easier road than other people. So for some reason, my comments are blocked on the other chats. Why is that? I don't know, Brandon. I see your comments right here. So Brandonian 30-30. Evans is a beast. Born with you mean Eubank? Born with a silver spoon. Decides the box. Respect. Grew up rich. A difference. Eubank. Not sure why it said. Yeah, it's probably a typo. Don't worry, bro. Yeah, it's that's the other thing too. When you grow up rich like that, well, you got to commend them, okay? Because they grew up rich, okay? I just said okay 3 times. Okay, 4 times. They grew up rich and they didn't have to fight. They had everything given to them, and they could have went and studied or done something completely different. So they made a choice to fight. So you got to give them respect for that. They had a good life. They didn't have to struggle. They didn't have to go through the trials and tribulations of their fathers. They weren't starving like their fathers were, living at a railroad, freaking whatever you call the railroad things. Yeah, I'm brain farting right now. But, they didn't have to go into boxing, and they did. So that shows you respect right there, that they had the warrior's heart in them, or they did at least. Chavez Jr., I don't know, man. Chavez Jr., he could have done so much. And, it's really disappointing, because when he's focused, he's good. Like that Jacobs fight, Chavez Jr. could have won that Jacobs fight. That was the perfect – if there was a fight stylistically for him to win, it was that Jacobs fight, because Jacobs likes to fight on the inside, and he swings really wide. Junior's game is on the inside, and he has short punches on the inside. So that was his fight to win, man. Just he checked out, man. He checked out. Hector Martin, Chavez Jr., zero discipline. Yeah, man. Iceman, he likes the weed. Well, the weed, does weed really make you not want to train? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of people who smoke weed, and they're still very productive, very focused. It helps them recover. It makes them feel not as dependent on anti-inflammatories. So I don't know about the weed, but it could be the other things that he's not dedicated. Habib thinks he would have smashed Froch. Chavez Jr., you think he would have beaten Carl Froch? Marvelous Decho Zin thinks Billy Joe beats Jacobs. He had a nice uppercut in his last fight. Billy Joe Saunders versus Daniel Jacobs. It's a good fight, actually. It's a good fight. I never really thought about it up until you brought it up. I actually would really, really like to see that fight. You have Daniel Jacobs, guy that last win was against Chavez Jr. at 168. That was his first fight there. Former world champion. He pressure fights. He comes forward. He can't box, but he's willing to mix it up against a guy who's very slick in Billy Joe Saunders. It could end up being like the Canelo fight, man. It could be that type of fight. I think stylistically, Billy Joe would be the betting favorite in a fight against Daniel Jacobs. But I'd love to see it. And if they're having if Canelo goes and skips Billy Joe Saunders and goes into a third Triple G fight, which I don't even know anymore, because Triple G said he wants to still fight his mandatory fight, that whoever the heck the guy is, I haven't even heard of the guy. Billy Joe Saunders would be a good fight, but given Golovkin's comments, that means Canelo's going to have to take a fight in the interim, and it might end up being Billy Joe Saunders. Iceman says weed leads to partying. That's true. Vince Rocco, he grew up rich. Most successful fighters grew up with nothing, and that gives you hunger and drive. Very true. But you know who's the exception to that? Marco Antonio Barrera. Marco Antonio Barrera grew up rich, came from a rich family. He was doing very, very well. I think he was an accountant, and his family was very well off. And he decided to be a professional fighter. So that normally does apply, except for Barrera, which you got to give. That's why I have a lot of respect for Eubank Jr. and Chavez Jr., okay? Even though the dedication thing for Chavez Jr., okay? Obviously, it's obvious. We saw what happened in the Canelo fight. We saw what happened in the Sergio Martinez fight. We saw what happened with this fight with Daniel Jacobs, okay? But even with them, Eubank Jr., Chavez Jr., they didn't have to fight. They had it made, and they made the decision to fight. They made the decision to go through training camps, which are hard as hell. They made the decision to get in that ring, take punches, go through wars, go through losses. That's not a tough thing. You know, you get to a certain point and you think, is this shit really worth it? Like, I'd be doing other shit. And they decided, you know what? I'd rather be doing this than other shit. So you got to give him respect for that. Is Gervonta really going to make 130? Shit. If he signed him for the fight, he better make 130 or he's going to get fined, which I don't think he doesn't mind getting fined. He has the money to. He might pull a Floyd, what he did with Marquez, where he weighed like, I don't know what. I think Floyd weighed how many pounds over for that Marquez fight? I think that fight was supposed to be at 50. Was it at 47 or 54? I remember Floyd was significantly overweight, and he paid Marquez like 300,000 or some crazy amount. If you guys know off the top of your head, comment on the comment section below. Let me know. And also, for you new guys tuning in, make sure to follow us at Fight Up TV. This is our Fight Up TV live chat. We have every Monday at 8 o'clock. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's get back to the chat. Beetlejuice. Oh, dude, where the hell are you, bro? I don't see you anymore. What up? Hello. Andre Ford Hamilton. How's it going, man? Triple G's best days are behind him against a prime Canelo. Many Americans don't know the skills of a Billy Joe. Plus, he's undefeated, but that's a good fight against Canelo. I agree. Very good fight against Canelo because of what happened in the Erislandy Lara fight. Let's see. This is going to be a good gauge how well and how much better Canelo Alvarez has gotten since that Lara fight to really show how he's able to adapt against a style that has given him trouble in the past. It remains to be seen. Hopefully we get it. Now, in terms of Triple G, best days behind him. It's tough to say. And let me tell you why. Because Sergey Derevyanchenko, the fights that he's had with guys, he's made them look bad. When he fought Jacobs, he made Jacobs look bad. That was a close fight. Fights Triple G, makes Triple G looks bad. Close fight. So maybe we're not giving enough credit to Sergey. The only way we're going to know if people have said that Triple G's been sliding a little bit. Fighters have mentioned that. Willie Monroe Jr. said that he feels that Triple G has slipped since the Kell Brook fight. Did an interview with him maybe a month ago. It's really tough to tell, given he hasn't really been active, and then the fights he had, like, okay, he steamrolled through Steve Rolls, but it was Steve Rolls, so it's hard to gauge. And then he has a tough fight with Derevyanchenko. You can think, oh, right there's the proof. But Derevyanchenko, like I said, makes everybody look bad in the fights that he's had. So it's really hard to see. Mondo Jr. Do you have a fro, Mondo? Mondo with the fro. Mondo Jr. In my opinion, a prime Erislandy Lara would have beaten Andrade. Who knows, man? I feel bad for Demetrius. He should be getting these fights, and he doesn't get them. And I think he should be pushing his promoter a little bit more. And if his promoter can't get him those fights, he needs to leave him. Honestly, if your promoter can't get you fights, leave on good terms, bro. And go to PBC or go to Top Rank or go to someone who can get you those fights, You would think because he's with the zone that he'd be able to get the fights, but he hasn't been able to get them, and it's a shame because he's in his prime right now, and I'm worried that he's going to get in a situation like Sergio Martinez, where he finally got his big break against Miguel Cotto, Madison Square Garden, huge pay-per-view, something that Sergio wanted a long, long time, even though he had a big fight with Chavez Jr. And he's a shell of what he was. That wasn't Sergio Martinez, and that's not. If you're a boxing fan, okay, and you were watching the string of destruction Sergio Martinez was leaving in his prime, what you saw that night was not Sergio Martinez. That was just a shell of himself. That was not Sergio. And I remember watching the fight there live, and I was just I felt so bad for the guy, man. Felt so bad because those new fans or the casual fans that tuned in to watch Sergio Martinez left thinking this guy's a sucks. This guy's terrible. Look at this clown that they matched up against Miguel Cotto. Like, what is this guy doing in the ring with him? And it's like, no, bro. That was not Sergio Martinez. Sergio Martinez in his prime would have beaten Miguel Cotto at that weight. Sergio Martinez in his prime was a supreme athlete, a wrecking ball at middleweight. He was undersized. He was a 154 coming up and beating bigger guys. Just had a beautiful beautiful style. He had a beautiful smile too. Sergio was freaking good, and it's just a shame that he never really got the recognition that he should have gotten, because those big fights came to him at the end of his career when there was really nothing left, and his knees were all jacked up, and now he wants to make a comeback. I want to reach out to Sergio because, you know, how is he going to do this with his knees? His knees were like destroyed. I don't understand. I haven't heard of anything like that. Let's see you guys' comments. 2 braces in, or long shorts to cover the braces. Yeah, I know, man. Let's see here. I saw something about Mikey Garcia. His body telling on him he tore an Achilles in training. Brandon House. With Sergio, is that what you're referring to Sergio? Let me know, because I'm going up on the comments. If Mikey Garcia fights Sean Porter, it'll be the same outcome as Garcia versus Spence. What do you say? Triple G. Hold on. Triple G tore his Achilles in training. That's the first I've heard, man. I'll look that up to see if that's true or not. But yeah, if you could link me where you read that, that'd be interesting, because then, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I heard that it was sick the night of the Lomachenko fight, that he had a flu or a cold or something like that. So, yeah, you never know, man. You never know. Spence versus Mikey Garcia. That is a tough fight for Mikey, man. Really tough fight. Look how tough of a fight Sean ended up being for Errol Spence. And a lot of boxing fans, man, for a long time said that Sean Porter was scared to fight Errol Spence, that he was avoiding Errol Spence, that he was terrified to fight Errol Spence. He went 12 rounds with the Errol Spence, nearly beat him. A lot of fans thought he beat him. Sean Porter, man, that's a tough fight for Mikey, and it's a different style. Errol boxed Mikey the whole night. Sean's going to try to maul him. I'm going to come forward and just give him a rough fight. He's like a buzzsaw in there, man. I've told Sean this in person, and I've told his dad this in person as well. I would hate to fight your son. Your son, if I was a professional boxer, your son would be the last person I'd want to fight, because I know fighting your son, I'd have a real fight ahead of me. Like, I'm going to get hit and worked everywhere. I'm going to get pushed to the brink. This guy has cardio for freaking days. He'll hit you on the arm. He'll hit you on the elbow. He'll hit you on the forearm. He'll hit you on the wrist. He'll hit you everywhere. Nonstop pressure on you. Doesn't give you a break. Pummeling with you. Like, that's the toughest style matchup, I think, for anybody in boxing is a pressure fighter that's just on you. Doesn't give you time to breathe. Doesn't give you time to think. Doesn't let you catch your breath. Just always on you. It mentally freaking drains you, where you can't think of anything. You get so frustrated that you want to get these guys off, that by you having your mind occupied, they're actually winning the round, because they're occupying. They're not giving you time to think or act, because they're so busy. They start racking up points on you. So that's a tough fight for Mikey. And you know what? Mikey got some freaking huevos. That's what he got for wanting to fight everybody, man. Jeez, man. Mikey got some big-ass nuts. That's for sure. Sean Porter will fight anyone. Throwback fighter, 100%. That too, man. That too. Sean Porter will fight anybody. Brandon House. Yeah, he hurt his ankle after the fight training. I'm from Detroit. Jonathan Banks. Okay, that's interesting. Well, whenever we get a chance to talk to Gennady, I'll bring that up and ask him, like, if he was injured, because that's a good point. That would explain a lot as to why he looked so bad in that fight with Lomachenko. Hey, I found something super cool, you guys, over the weekend. You remember Robbie? You guys ever had this as a kid Growing up in the 80s, I found this in my room when I went back home to see my mom. It's like a piggy bank. Well, Robbie the Robot. I think it's pretty cool. All right. Pacquiao butchers Mikey. It's a tough fight, man. Mikey can end up knocking out Manny. That's the thing. Manny doesn't do well with counterpunches. Mikey's going to counterpunch in that fight. Mikey has a good right hand, dude. Look what happened with Marcus. Marcus timed him. Mikey has really, really good timing. It might be where Manny jumps out ahead in the fight in the early rounds. Mikey's very, very methodical. Had discussions with Mikey about his approach to boxing. He's very methodical, dude. He thinks shit through. He's thinking in there. So, yeah, he's losing the early rounds, but he's downloading data on you. For instance, let me give you an example with the Vargas fight. I had Mikey losing early in that fight, and then Mikey started really putting a hurting on Jesse because that's how Mikey is. And he'll start slow, start analyzing you, and then he'll start picking you off little by little by little. With his timing, Mikey has great timing, man. Great timing. So, it's a risky fight for Manny, okay? Because any one of these fights, Manny can get old on us overnight, which is why me in particular, I want Manny to retire. After that Thurman fight, he should have retired. You beat a guy that's half your age, who's a top welterweight. You look freaking great. You won or unified or did whatever with the WBA alphabet belts or whatever. You sold well on pay-per-view and everybody's riding high on you. I would have advised him to retire right there. Manny, you're 40. You could probably still beat a lot of these guys, but there's no point in taking extra damage. This is a really, really good win right off in the sunset. He's playing a very dangerous game. I hate to see him face down again. I was there for that knockout against Marquez in person, man, and it was not a pretty sight, dude. I still vividly remember that night. We all thought Manny was dead, dude. Like, it was bad. It was really, really bad. And then seeing his wife and his mom freak out, it was really terrible. And he's playing with fire, man. One of these fights, age is going to catch up to Manny, and it could be any one of these guys. He looks phenomenal in training, but a lot of the times, especially when you get older, you leave it all in the gym. You show up and there's nothing left of you on fight night. Don't count out Mikey in that fight. Mikey could end up knocking Manny out, man. I'm telling you, with the counterpunch. Manny doesn't do well against counterpunchers. Manny does well against guys that come forward. Think Mikey's going to come forward against Manny? No, he's going to try to take it easy, suave, and counterpunch. And Mikey has a big right hand, dude. You saw with Jesse. Jesse's a bigger guy than Mikey. And Mikey put it on Jesse, man. He almost had him out. So we'll see what happens. Let's see your guys' comments here. South LA. Like that you brought this up, South LA. I still haven't lost hope on Brandon Rios versus Victor Ortiz. What do you think? That's one of those fights that we should have gone. I hope we get it. I haven't heard much from Brandon. He hasn't announced that he's like retired, but last time I heard from someone on his team, they said he was going to go through a training camp just to see how his body felt. And then from there, he's going to decide if he should continue fighting or not. That was about a year and a half ago. So, I don't know. That's a huge fight because we all know the beef between Victor and Brandon. They're a lot older. They're a lot more vulnerable. I think whatever advantages that Victor had on speed and explosiveness, because Victor's a little bit older, the gap might have been a little bit closer. There's bad blood there. You bet your ass that they're going to be training hard for that fight because they do not like each other. But Victor hasn't fought in a long time either. So, I very low chance that I think that fight happens. I bet Rios is 200 pounds right now. I haven't seen him, Brandon. I hope Brandon's doing well. I like Brandon, man. I've always liked Brandon, to be honest. He's a funny guy. And I really do hope that Brandon is doing well. I don't want to see him fight again. I just don't want to see him take any more unnecessary punches. Brandon's had a lot of hard fights, man. A lot of hard punches taken to the head. He's been through a lot of wars. I don't want to see him come out bad. He's made a good amount of money. He could train fighters. He was a hell of an amateur. The knowledge is there. I just don't want to see him get hurt against anybody, So yeah, that's my view on that. I would prefer not to see him fight. Let's see here, you guys. Thank you guys for joining us so far, man. It's been a good chat. It started off a little, I was coming out everywhere with random stuff. Hope you guys took my advice about the girls to follow on Instagram, the boxing girls. All right, let's see here. Pacquiao's running on fumes. It looks like Pacquiao's running on jet fuel. What are you talking about, bro? Pacquiao's look fucking good. Andre Ford Hamilton. What's up, man? How's it going? What fight do you see as making Lomachenko a superstar and take him to the next level in terms of stardom? Man, that's really tough, dude. Because I think at this point, what's hindered Lomachenko in a way is his inability to learn English. You see all the guys that have become superstars, like major superstars, like pay-per-view heavy hitters the last few years that were not from the United States. Who was the last guy that was a major pay-per-view draw or did very well on pay-per-view that was not from the United States from the last few years, that crossed over and did really well on their own? It's three names that come to mind. Manny Pacquiao. Why did Manny Pacquiao do so well? A few reasons why. Manny Pacquiao was out murking motherfuckers. That's why. He's murdering people. And Manny Pacquiao learned English. Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto, fan-friendly fighter, was knocking people out, learned English. And kind of the anomaly, Canelo. But Canelo always had other guys. Well, Canelo's weird because he had other guys help him too. And because there's such a big Mexican fan base here in the United States, that helped out his pay-per-view numbers as well. Canelo knows English, understands English, just doesn't speak English. But those are the three. Manny's a bigger draw pay-per-view wise, was a bigger draw pay-per-view wise than Canelo, bar none. Bigger pay-per-view draw in his prime, and he's still a big pay-per-view draw. It helps that he knows English. So now, using that example to Lomachenko, it's very hard to market the guy because one, he's not knocking out people anymore. Two, he doesn't know English, so it's hard to connect with the English fan base over here. So it's tough. Will he become a star on the level of Manny? I don't think so, man. He's already 33, 32. How many more years can Lomachenko fight? 2 years, 3 years before age starts showing up? I think the fight that really will take him to another level, Tank's not there yet. So you can't say it's Tank. You got to think, what other name would elevate Lomachenko to that level? Who would elevate him? Who's there in that weight class? At 130, there's no huge name. Tank is the only one, but Tank has a very, very strong, growing fan base. But it's safe to say he's not as big as a Manny or Floyd. He's on the way, but he's not as big, not yet, but he's certainly on the way. That's 130. 135, no one's there. 140, no one's there. At featherweight, no one's there. There's no one there. The only other way would happen is if Terence Crawford were to drop down to 140 and Lomachenko were to move up to 140. But that'd be such a mismatched fight because of size. Because Crawford would be so much bigger than Lomachenko. I don't think it'd be fair because you're seeing guys already at 135 able to hang with Terence Crawford. Hang with Lomachenko. Able to take his punches better because they're bigger guys. it would just be unfair. It would be a very, very unfair fight. It'd be the same thing as like when Rigondeaux moved up to fight Lomachenko. Rigondeaux was so small that he couldn't do anything to Lomachenko. So I don't think there's anybody there to make Lomachenko that big of a star. And I think the thing hindering them, or hindering him at least, is him not learning English. That plays a big part, man. These fighters, these foreign fighters. Look, Marquez learned English because he understood he needs to appeal to the English fan base. The biggest market for boxing is in the United States. And for you to make a connection with boxing fans, a real, unique connection, not just fair weather fans, like, oh, yeah, I like them, I'll tune in and watch. No, like hardcore fans that'll roll with you. You got to appeal to them. You got to do interviews in English so they become real fans of you. You have to be able to communicate to them in their language. And yeah, we haven't seen that yet from Lomachenko. A big win at 140 for Loma, probably too small. Yeah, way too small, dude. Terence has gotten bigger. I don't even think Terence can make 140 pounds now, to be honest. You know, I saw Terence at the Wilder Fury 2 fight. He looks significantly bigger, like bone structure wise. He looked wider. His shoulders looked wider. And he looked like he put on some muscle as well. So I don't think that he can make 140 pounds anymore. I don't know. Maybe he can, but he just looks too big now. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll up. Oh, no, I got more questions here. Iceman likes Lomachenko. Marvelous. Decho's in. Ricky Hatton versus Cotto at 140 pounds. Jesus, man. What a crazy fight that would have been, dude. Oh, my God. That would have been like a Margarito Cotto type fight. Especially, oh, my God. That fight could have happened too, man. It never happened. Sucks. That would have been a fight of the year contender, man. I would have favored. Shit, that's hard, man. Who you guys? So Cotto versus Ricky Hatton. I'm gonna hear your guys' thoughts on that. Who would have you guys favored in that fight? I'm still trying to play the fight out of my head, trying to see who. The bigger puncher obviously was Cotto. The more active puncher was Ricky. Ricky was nonstop, man. That pace and tempo. I never really seen Cotto tired really in a fight. Cotto had good uppercuts though, man. I don't know. I think Ricky had some defensive issues, obviously. His biggest weapon was he would outwork you on the inside and you couldn't keep him off of you. I think eventually he would have maybe walked into something from Cotto. I keep seeing uppercuts in my head playing out the fight. I would have picked Cotto in the fight. I just think Cotto was a little bit more versed, had more tools in the bag, more versatile. But it would have been a hell of a fight for as long as it would have lasted. Oh, my God. Why couldn't we gotten that fight, man? That sucks. That's like Oscar. We could have gotten Oscar versus Cotto. That would have been a tremendous fight. We never got it. Another fight. Shane Mosley versus Zab Judah. We could have gotten it. We never got it. They were scheduled to fight, and then something weird happened. I think with Judah. Judah got a weird injury, like in the bathroom or something like that. Seen here, Ricky would have been put to sleep. Cotto late. Pacquiao destroyed Ricky Hatton. Scary knockout. Let's see here. Rob C likes the YouTube boxing. I'll bring a point on that. Maurice Huner, love the channel, Marcos. Yeah, all right, Maurice, good for you, bro. Andre Ford Hamilton, good questions, bro. I appreciate this. What's your views on PEDs in the sport? Widely reported that a lot of the top guys are juicing, juice head turkeys. Malanaji thinks about it. What does it do for the credibility of boxing? You know what, dude? Honestly, I'm at the opinion now where it's like, I don't even know what to think. Because honestly, we don't even know if these guys are juicing because technology's so far along. And like, you want to think that boxing and the boxers in the sport are so pure, so old school, because a lot of the training methods are old school, that they choose not to do that, okay? But there have been guys that have been caught juicing already in the past. You know what really ruined it for me? Was that documentary on Netflix called Icarus. I saw that and it completely ruined me, dude. Everybody's cheating. That's what it is. It is what it is. Everybody's cheating in some form, some way. Everybody's cheating in all sports. We've seen it time and time again. Baseball last year with the whole whatever the Giants were doing, or not the Giants, freaking Astros. Track and field, especially track and field, weightlifting, all these sports, dude. If you do me a favor, watch that documentary on YouTube. It's called Icarus. It will ruin you in your view of sports. And you'll come to the conclusion that more than likely everybody is cheating in sports in some form or another. If that's the case, just let them all freaking juice. Let them all juice. It's like pride and pride. You could juice in pride. That evens out the playing field. Let them all juice. Let them get juiced out to the gills. And just let them have it. You know how badass the fights were in pride because of that? Those fights in pride were great. We get better fights. Just, that's the only way around it. Honestly, that's the only way around it because technology is always going to be one step ahead of the testing protocols because it comes down to money. And these not athletes, but the guys that are coming up with these new ways to juice are making a lot more money than the organizations, the bodies in place to cast the juicers. They're always one step ahead. So just let them all freaking juice. Let them all juice. That's the only way it's even. Everyone's on the juice, and then that extra step is going to be talent, I guess. Let them all juice. That's my viewpoint on it. Povetkin took meladonium. These guys killed themselves for us. PEDs are used for recovery. These guys grind out their life and regulate the juice. No, obviously, I'm against PEDs. That's my stance, but I'm just saying, after watching that documentary, it just made me think, dude. So if you haven't seen the documentary is about this Russian doctor that was the head of the Russian Olympic program. And it was state-sponsored juicing program where he juiced over 100 athletes. And all those athletes medaled, or a majority of them medaled. And it was done by the government. The government gave the okay. And he said that this program had been going on since the 60s. Olympic athletes since the 60s in the Soviet Union have been juicing. And they're still juicing now because they're still banning the Russian athletes. This has been prevalent in sports for such a long time. It's like I said, that documentary ruined me, made me think that everybody's juicing. It's just some people get caught, some people don't. Obviously, I'm anti-PEDs. Should have nothing to, especially in combat sports, because you can kill somebody if you're enhanced, But what can you do when they're always one step ahead, Eugene Bruno, there are a lot of advantages with athletes coming from countries where they're taking supplements from herbs and natural plants that don't come up during tests. Hence Pacquiao. Speculation, man. We need Russian supplements for fighting COVID. Yeah, we do, man. Fuck. How you guys all doing with this COVID lockdown, man? This shit sucks. Sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days, But Chris Smith, Drago, Rocky IV was juiced to the tits. Yes, Drago was juiced. Brandonian, COVID is not a scam, bro. It's real. I know people that have actually gotten it. I have a friend whose grandma and aunt died from it, so it's not a scam, bro. Please don't say that. You say that to somebody who's lost a family member, they're gonna flip out on you, man. I would imagine you would hate for someone to tell you that if you lost a family member and then they tell you, "Oh, this shit's a scam," you'd be really hurt by that. So don't say that. DJ 2020, COVID stopping me from finding me a wife. Yeah, it's stopping me from smashing. What the freaking dry season over here? All right, I gotta wrap it up. I can't be saying these things on here, okay? So Jose de Jesus, I'm glad you recovered from COVID, man. I'm super glad that you made it through. That's great. Eugene Bruno, women are complaining of too much sex during COVID-19. Send them my way, damn. Donatella, I must break you. That's my favorite line from Rocky IV. All right, guys, live chat. I'm going to end it. It's only for an hour, but it's been a good live chat. We're going to be back Monday at 8 o'clock. Make sure to follow us on social media. Whoa, what did I do there? At Fight Up TV on Twitter, on Instagram. Give me a follow as well, guys. Follow my Instagram. I post a lot of just random shit as well. At Hey, it's Marcos V. At Hey, it's Marcos V. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a blessed, positive week. You can get through this week. You can do it. Let's go, champ. Stay productive. That's the key. And stay improving. Thank you so much. Art, go creep on Pearl. You'll thank me. You'll thank me so much. It'll make your entire week. You can't see me. My time is now. That's right. I can't see you. I can't even say who wrote that comment. All right, Chris, Maurice, thank you guys so much. All right, I'm out, you guys. Take it easy. Stay good and be kind to each other as well. Take care of each other. Look out for your neighbors. Look out for your family. And stay healthy, especially in this time, man. Thank you so much, you guys. See you next week.